What is Rykov principle? Rykov principle actually is one of the greatest secrets of increasing your self-confidence. What it suggests is that you start to behave like the most confident person you know. Or you imagine as if you are that person. Now let's take an example. The most confident person for me, for example, is Tony Robbins. So I should start to behave like Tony Robbins. I should dress like him. I should imagine that as if I am Tony Robbins for a few hours. It sounds crazy. It really does. But it is one of the greatest secrets and one of the most untold secrets of self-confidence. If you feel that any actor that you love the most, for example, let's say Harrison Ford, or let's say Pierce Brosnan for the movie James Bond, or Sean Connery, if these are some confident examples or some names of some confident people, then you imagine you are that person. How would that person dress like? How would that person talk? How would that person behave? How would that person sit, talk, and move? His hands, his arms, his gesture, everything, his body language, his tonality, his facial expression. So you adopt all of those things just for a few hours and you imagine you are that confident person. You are that person. If it's a sportsman like Michael Jordan, you imagine you are Michael Jordan. And you just behave like him, you talk like the way he does, you behave like him, you dress like him, and then in a matter of few days after this exercise, you will remain what you are. You will not become that person. You will remain what you are, but you will surprisingly notice that your body has acquired the confidence that that person has. This is a magical phenomenon, and it helped me tremendously. Whenever I saw a confident person, I started to imagine that as if I am that person. When I was a young kid and I was learning self-confidence, I started to adopt that philosophy. And then after acquiring the personalities of so many people like this and imagining that how would I behave if I were that person, I developed this kind of personality that I have. It's my own personality. You cannot even match it with somebody. Maybe there are some certain sentences that I talk, those sentences sound like somebody. Yes, because I am a mixture of so many great personalities that I have actually learned from. I have copied their style. I have learned from them consciously and sometimes subconsciously. All of those great people combining together their confidence and their style made me this who I am today. And surprisingly, I noticed that I also started to feel confident the way they used to. So this really works. This really works. If you cannot imagine that I am that person, then just imagine how would that person behave in this kind of situation. If Tony Robbins is under pressure, how would he behave? And by the way, he is one of those persons I used to imagine, how would he do that? I started to emulate his style. Another person I started to emulate was Jim Rohn. Another person I started to emulate was Brian Tracy. I learned the style of these people and I adopted the Rykov principle. How would they behave when they are under pressure? How would they behave when somebody misbehaves with them? How would they behave when things are not going the right way? How would they behave when the things are going the right way? Because when the things are not going the right way, you gotta be resilient. You gotta say to yourself, I am unstoppable. I will continuously keep working hard and do not stop. But when the things are working in your favor, when everything is going right, when everything is going in your direction, you tend to be humble. People like these, successful, confident people, they are usually humble when they are in a situation where they have everything that they wanted, where they have achieved everything that they desired for themselves. So they tend to be more confident and they tend to be humble. So success teaches you to be humble. Failures teaches you to be resilient. So all of this I adopted and learned because of the Rykov principle. I just imagine how would these people behave.